provide the counter argument.
And I believe we are live, so I'm just going to go ahead and start talking in this whole thing. Well, if anyone can actually hear it, hello and welcome to another episode of Rotn Movie Reviews. I have gone through...
Provide the counter argument.
Oh, that was fucking loud. That one's up. But I know that my stuff is up and working properly. And that whole thing. So yes, another episode of Rotn Movie Reviews. Before we get into it, because I think Angela's still gone, I am actually going to run a joke by you guys that I kind of thought of the other day at work. It's a basically terrible dad joke.
The best jokes?
So, it starts out like this. So I went to this new store in my town. And as I picked out a few things, I asked someone, I was like, hey, where do I go to purchase this? And they're like, oh, well, sir, do you have your phone on you? Oh, damn, one time I forgot my phone. Shocking. I know, it's odd. Like, oh, okay, sir. Well, to go do that, the cashier's right over here. You just have to make sure you stand on the wire that's in front of it. Because to keep with company policy, all purchases must be made online.
Ha!
I actually meant to do that on Clippers United and then just completely forgot about it. Yeah. It's a dumb joke. But... to the actual thing, we watched and will be reviewing The Sorcerer's Apprentice, which came out in 2010. It's actually a Disney movie that I did not realize was. But with me, as always, is Tyrannius Alexander Tamir Lich. How you doing there, buddy?
I'm good, and yourself?
Oh, not so bad. James, we got James Colley with us. How you doing there, buddy?
How's it going?
Oh, not
Fairly
so bad.
good, and you, sir?
I'm doing all right, and we also have Angela with us. How are you doing, man?
I'm okay. How about you?
Oh, not so bad. And we said we wanted a palate cleanser after Midsummer because of it not being a bad movie, but just being fucking weird, and going through also the remake of The Wicker Man, which we're not going to delve back into that. I will say officially the palate has been cleansed with this movie because that was definitely not terrible, and it had some damn good actors in it.
Yeah, I had two shenanigan moments, and then I was done.
Now, I think I'm going to have to try to get to Polly to watch this one. He might not like it as much because she's not in it as much, but he is a very big fan of Monica Bellucci, who played Veronica. But for anyone who's curious, this was, like I said, a 2010 movie. Nicolas Cage plays one of the original apprentices of Merlin. And basically he then takes Jay Bartrell, who's been in a fuck ton of movies as well. 71 between TVs and movies. Which I want to say, yeah, he was Hiccup from How to Train Your Dragon for the voice.
Did he stay as Hiccup? Because sometimes they'll recast.
No, he's been Hiccup for basically the entire thing of it.
Sweet.
I lost my train of thought in there. But Disney movie, it still had the dude who played Horoth, I could have swore was somebody else. But God, without hair, he looks so fucking different.
Who was he?
Are you talking about Alfred Molina?
Yes. That is that man is a lot like Gary Oldman and a few other actors that quite literally, they grow a beard or grow a mustache, grow their hair out longer. Completely different person.
They become a whole new person. Yeah.
Because when I saw him in the one photo where he's got his head shaved, I could have swore he's been in a couple episodes of Scrubs. But I could be thinking of the completely wrong person. And I'm too damn tired to look it up.
Well, I'm looking him up.
All I know is I've had a crush on Alfred Molina since Species.
Yeah, he was in Species. He was the psychic. No, he wasn't. He was the geneticist that got kid, that had the kid with her.
What?
Oh, he was the cokehead.
But he was the one that had sex with. He was in Lady Nighthawk or Lady Hawk. Sorry, Lady Nighthawk. He was in a lot of stuff.
There's also Doc Ock.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
He was Doc Ock.
He also played Hercule Poirot.
I didn't know he played her.
He has been in a whole bunch of stuff.
I think he was in at least one of the Mummy movies, too.
Wait a minute, let's see. Dead Man, Howard.
Oh, back to the Sorcerer's Apprentice. Surprisingly, for a Disney movie, right. I'll have to say I definitely enjoyed it. It's a Disney movie, so it's not going to be ridiculous, or it still was ridiculous.
No, it's a past Disney movie, so it's not going to be ridiculous.
I would still say this would have been like a preteen, early teen sort of movie. Kind of meant if like you were into more anime of like the shonen variety. Easiest way to put it for like comic books be more like towards DC to where it'd be kind of more of a power fantasy. You know, nerdy guy ends up finding out he's supposed to be the most powerful. At least they didn't Marty sue him. Like they kind of had that, but it was like the waiting until he was more ready, and they still showed that he had to do other shit to finally defeat the big bad guy. Well, bad gal.
Yeah, I like he had more training than fucking Ray.
Yeah.
I will say he at least had a month of training compared to Ray Skywalker.
Palpatine. After The Force Awakens, I stopped watching.
She's officially a Skywalker now.
Yeah, that's not how lineage usually works, but whatever. We're not gonna get into that. But honestly, I will still say, like, was it the greatest movie? Oh, by no means. But it was a fun movie. It had, for the time, not bad, terrible CGI. I like how they had the one of the guys who's supposed to be the bad guy, and it's kind of a not David Copperfield. Who's the fucking
Chris Angel?
Chris Angel.
Oh God.
Yeah. He was literally a Chris Angel insert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I still think the best one I ever saw of that was the oh damn it, it had Jim Carrey as like the antagonist. It had Steve Carell and someone else whose name I can't think of, but basically where they're magicians, and Jim Carrey plays like the Chris Angel type person because they're doing a pretty much magic tournament type thing. Not tournament, but like talent show.
A talent show?
Like America's Got Magic?
Oh, it's like I can't explain it right offhand. Let's just go ahead and bring... Shit, why'd I do that? Well, go ahead and explain what you guys liked or hated about the movie, and I'll try to find this shit real quick.
Again, I had two shenanigans moments.
Oh, go ahead, Tier.
I was just saying I had two shenanigans moments when he did the whole "these are not the droids you are seeking," and when he dodged that fucking subway train. Come on, he should have got hit and tanked it.
Well, as bad as he was, yeah, I'll agree with you.
I mean, they fell onto a freaking thing. The dude who played Dave should have died there because you know those tracks are electrified, right?
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
But it's only like if you're touching the rail plus one of the conducting path for the electric. But you can step in between the tracks and be okay if you know where you're stepping.
Yeah.
So long as you don't step on the track itself, you should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I call shenanigans on it. Like he could have like did a spell and like just went under and like that's unfair. It just sunk in or made himself incorporeal.
Yeah, but for a fat man to hop back up on the platform, I call bullshit. I agree.
But yeah, that was the shenanigans moment. And then if you could track the goddamn thing, then why did you need the boy? Like you didn't need him to track it. You could have found it on your own. Not like again, he said, yeah, he I needed him. I need you to find it. But you had a tracking spell. You had a locator spell. So why did you need him? I mean, I get why he needed him, but find the grip hole, get the boy.
Yeah,
Still a good movie though.
Yeah, like anything, there's a bunch of weird, dumb stuff and whatnot. And the movie that I was thinking of is The Incredible Burt Wonderstone.
Yeah.
Because it's got Steve Carell, Steve Buscemi, Olivia Wilde, James Gandolfini, Jay Moore, Jim Carrey. It's got a whole bunch of people. It's even got it had Michael Herberg. That's somebody else. It's got quite the cast though. Fuck, it had David Copperfield in it. Yeah, she plays what turns into the love interest of, I want to say, Steve Carell, if memory serves me correctly. Okay. It's a weird movie.
I am a big Olivia Wilde fan. I don't know what it is about light-colored eyes and dark hair.
I mean, I want to say...
You just a suck for love.
I also have a soft spot for redheads.
Who doesn't? Well, from everything it sounds like that we can really say that, well, really nobody hated the movie. So I guess your prediction of we're going to tear this thing to shit is pretty off.
Okay. Yes, it was off. But I still have some things I can tear down about this movie.
For starters, his friend.
I will be the wet rag in the room on this. First off, I have a problem with one of the witches that they had, or one of the sorcerers they had in there. The one from the Puritan days, Abigail.
Oh, yeah, Salem.
Yeah. My biggest problem is, not a witch. She ate tainted grain, had hallucinations, and was prompted, like a lot of the girls in the Salem trials that were pointing out things, they were prompted by their parents to
I mean, yes, that'd been
this person, that person.
That'd be the real story or the actual thing that happened, but we're talking about a movie and that whole thing where they're saying, oh no, like the shit that you think you know isn't actually what you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see that one.
So yeah, that is my biggest complaint about the Salem witch trials is it was all Puritan.
Again, yes, and we can easily go against that by, like I said, by saying, this is supposed to be the whole thing of what we know isn't the actual truth, which is why they said like the normal person isn't supposed to know magic, or that no magic exists.
Right.
So going through and being like, oh well, this is the way that it was for the actual ceremony.
That rule out.
Yeah.
Like how everybody's like, no matter what you can say, this is 2010. You're telling me that there was no cell phone camera footage? Like no one took a picture. Like I'm pretty sure in the middle of Chinatown, somebody was taking pictures and seeing a motherfucking dragon, you would TMZ would have a field day with that. You know,
Well,
you can't tell me that.
this is the only thing I can think of is that this is supposed to be a little bit more like the but it still wouldn't work because his laptop would have been fried when he tried using it. So I would say like this would have been closer to like the Dresden Files, but because like the wizards or magicians, but like sorcerers and whatnot, because of their magical field, it would interfere with electronics. But for that to happen, it would have fried the computer most likely, considering that's what happens in the second Dresden Files book, or he talks about in the second or third. I don't remember. It's been a while since I started reading that, and I should probably get back into it.
My favorite book series.
I mean, all right. So they were still using tech. So it's not the case saying as the Dresden Files. So again, even then, it's not the wizards that's taking the photographs. It's the people. I'm pretty sure someone pulled out a camera somewhere. Like, holy! As a matter of fact, it's a celebration for Chinese New Year. They're still taking photos. Someone somewhere taking photos.
The only thing I can think of, and it kind of showed that it wasn't the case, was because for so much of it, like when they have the main bad gal Morgana, and she's doing the whole summoning circle thing to resurrect the dead. Becky can't see it, but Dave can. But then it's like, okay, so if that's the case, how the hell did all of those people see, Asian sorcerer bring out dragon?
But you can still see the you can still see the destruction. Like he literally destroyed a fire escape in a building to get to Dave, and then take the bull. Even if they can't see the bull, they can see the car slipping up.
But they also were able to convince the cops that it was just like a rogue firework.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, but that's just them coming on the scene and them being dressed to make this. They didn't use magic for it.
From what it seemed,
they just used pre-approved, preconceived notions. Yeah. Oh, it's just for fireworks, some sake, paper dragon. Oh well, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's not a magic thing though. The theory in most magic-based stories is that normal people will try to pretend magic doesn't exist, even if it's right in front of their face. They'll come up with an excuse not to see it as magic.
But that's the problem with those. Well, at least in a modernized setting, is that we now have video. We have cell phone technology. We have video recording devices in our pockets. That you cannot tell me that no one nowhere has ever in a universe like that, in a modern setting where cell phones exist, which they do in this one, that no one's taking a picture somewhere, no one's taking a photograph. Again, this is a dragon, not some little rinky dink little. Oh well, it's a little bunny. No, it's a dragon. No one's taking a picture of that.
Well, apparently not.
It's destroying your city. Good.
And with the
it destroyed the nail shop.
I was gonna say you've also got the fact that he kept pulling that spell where all of the frickin' confetti ended up everywhere all the time.
That would only work, but that was only
obscure.
That was predominantly just in the street, not in the actual building, and it just seemed like
but nobody was really in the halls.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. It seemed like somehow like they were able to potentially have the magic push normal people out of the way so it could go after what it wanted. Is the only other thing I think of. And then for like the final fight with that one with the bull, if you kind of pay attention, nobody else was there, which is still weird for something.
Yeah, but again, someone is going to come they're going to come outside tomorrow or the next day and see that their car has full horns in it. They're going to see that the bull is no longer in its proper place.
Unless fucking Balthazar went and used magic to put everything back the way it was supposed to be. For that one, we don't have an after action report.
Well, I'm not saying he did. You're
Like,
right.
Quite
And
literally,
you don't have
it's
action report for the dragon fight.
Yeah. Well,
They got the fuck out there.
yeah, we know they just straight up left. Again, it's for anything like this, we're looking far too logically into this when it's supposed to be a suspension of disbelief, going into a world where magic actually exists and is closer to science than people realize.
That was
Have you
what
ever
I
seen-
was trying to make, but
Sorry. Have you ever seen the anime Bleach? Have you ever seen that one?
Seen what?
what'd you say?
It's an anime called Bleach.
Oh, Bleach, yes.
Alright, so you know how technically all their battles don't happen in the physical world. It happens in an upside down, if you will, another plane.
The spiritual realm.
Yeah, but you could still see some physical damage when they destroy buildings. You can still see the physical damage of their battles, and you can easily explain holy shit, that building exploded because you never saw him punch fucking in the wrong car through a goddamn building. You never see that.
That or the easiest way they put it is for Bleach, when they first bring out the Gargantuan and Uryu tries to strap the frickin' Ichigo's Zanpakuto to his head to try to focus the thing, because Ichigo never had to focus his actual energy, but someone looks over and they saw, all of Sandal's crew basically out looking like they're just shadow boxing or something because they're taking out hollows and no one else can see it. Hey, what's up, Hellcat?
Yeah. What about Cat? When fucking Chad is first gets his powers and he punches because he can't see it.
Yeah.
But he knows it's there.
Yeah.
And he hits it, but he can't. Yeah. He can't tell.
But again, it's that whole thing. Tyr, you have a huge problem with this. Fantasy movie. You're trying to bring real world logic into it.
I know. But still.
I mean, granted, they were
sometimes not suspension.
I mean, granted, like I said, they were trying to bring it in there of it being, magic is closer to science, and you're just basically changing vibrations, and it's just like, oh, god damn it, writer, and that writer was, three different writers. We got Lawrence Connor, Mark Rosenthal, and Matt Lopez. Like, come on, guys, don't stop trying to do the dumbass explanations. Just tell him he's got to feel it.
Okay.
Oh.
That's the problem. You got a Jewish writer in there.
and
you got a Jewish writer in there. If they can't believe in Santa Claus, they're not going to write a good fantasy movie.
Well, plausibly, and that whole thing. And you know what, Johnny? One of these days we'll just do we can discuss Bleach on a different stream. I've been trying to keep Tyr more focused, but he wants to go off on tangents, and this, I at least want to get through the movie first. And I don't even remember what we were talking about, a bitch about of it. Fun movie though.
Yeah.
It was decently fun. This is one of Nicolas Cage's better movies.
Yeah, John Turteltaub? I don't know how to... he's apparently mostly been a producer, but for a director, he wasn't bad for what he got out of it. Oh, well, he directed the Rush Hour TV series. Yeah, I haven't watched that. I'm trying to see what other... Okay, he directed the 2 National Treasure movies. Phenomenon.
He did the Meg.
From the Earth to the Moon. He did Phenomenon with frickin' John Travolta. That was a weird movie.
I love Phenomenal.
I never said it was bad. It's just it was. Oh, okay. I can't hate this director. He directed the first Three Ninjas movie.
The only good one.
The funny thing is actually like I don't hate the first three. It's the High Noon at Mega Mountain that has Hulk Hogan in it. I'm not the biggest fan of that because they that's the one to where none of the original cast was there because the only person who was in the first three movies is the middle brother Colt.
Oh wow.
I went through a weird thing when I was watching those, and I'm like, "What? Okay, I know this." It's like you can tell the eldest brother changed. The youngest brother doesn't look like he changed. It's like, nope. After the first one, for the second movie, when they go to Japan, only the kid who played Colt was in that one because the other two weren't too into it, and those two came back for the third movie.
Yeah.
And like. The really funny thing for for Three Ninjas is going in when you watch their grandfather fight because holy shit, you can tell that's a stunt double. Oh, dude, it's bad in that, but and that so I don't.
It wasn't James Hong, was it? There's the other one.
Victor Wong. It was the guy that played in Showdown in Little China, Big Trouble in Little China.
Yes. It was the
shit, he died.
and the Golden Child.
That's sad. He died in 2000 September 2001.
That dude was an awesome actor, Victor Wong.
Yeah.
I fucking loved him in Tremors.
I loved him in Big Trouble in Little China.
That too.
Egg Chen, yes.
But I'll still say for, going back to the actual Sorcerer's Apprentice, the cover art doesn't make sense for what it's supposed to be. It kind of lets too much out of the bag. But, yeah, I definitely say if it's something you got kids in like their early teens, whatnot, it's something for them. Got a little bit of romanticism in it, but it's not super heavy to the plot.
He was a simp.
I mean, you could kind of say that to all of them. Because
I'm just saying he was a simp.
Which one?
The Dave.
He plays that character in a lot of things. Although he's also played some different ones because, like, he played Hard Right J in Letterkenny.
Okay.
But I mean, if you think about it, Nicolas Cage was, considering the fact everything he was doing was to get Veronica back, and then Alfred Molina, his character was in that because, like, he was pissed that Veronica didn't choose him, so he went to simp for Morgana instead.
Yeah, I guess it's Simp the movie.
With magic.
With magic.
Magic. That was a name they weren't trying to go with. Magical Simp, the movie.
Betrayal is magical.
I have issues
Betrayal is
with
magical.
They just turned around and like shoved that dude in there for no reason at all.
Oh,
yeah, he was in like 3 scenes. Yeah, like 3 scenes.
3
like,
simp ninja magicians.
All of that out. And
yeah, I mean, he's there for the heavy lifting, and they say, you need to get out there and play with others.
Yeah. You should go out. It's like you should go out and not be it's like and actually be around people. Also, by the way, happy birthday.
What he should have done, what his character should have been, he should have been a sorcerer too. That's what that he could have been. Actually, oh shit! It's the legendary Balthazar.
Actually, that could have been a not too terrible of a one to where, with Balthazar being in the thing for the 10 years, he reached out to Bennett, or the guy who played, it's like that guy, to basically undertake something to be a watchful eye over Dave. But,
Yeah.
it. Who knows? I'd have to go through and find all the deleted scenes as well, and I frankly don't care enough.
I mean, because it played off at the Morganians. Like, that's another thing that didn't make any. I like the movie again. It didn't make any sense. So the Morganians seem to be the dominant sorcerer group. So
Yeah.
where are the other good sorcerers? Because it's the Chris Angel wannabe said his master left him with the textbook and then just fucking fucked off the parts on the.
Well, from what we kind of gathered, Horvath was his master.
No, it wasn't. Horvath wasn't his master because it was Horvath was in the was sealed in there for what
10 years.
10 years. There's no way Horvath could have been that kid's master. And remember, when he goes to the other guy goes, "Hey, I have a guy for you," you know, and he clearly didn't know him. So again, so where are the other good ones? Like, is there only Balthazar?
Unless it's that whole thing like what Alfred or Horvath did to him and the others, to where he did that parasite thing to steal their power, and that's been what most of the Morgans did.
Well,
It can't be because the guy. Well, then again, it wouldn't make sense that he wouldn't know about it because he didn't have a master.
well, both apprentices had abandonment issues,
Yeah.
you know, and had some fucked up mental issues. I mean, think about it. His the guy that was flipping the burgers and brought in a Chris Angel wannabe had abandonment issues, and then you got Dave, who may spill something on his pants and gets made fun of by his class, ends up out in the transfer schools, and that creates what Rotn.
And that doesn't create abandonment issues, but it definitely creates freaking anxiety issues. He's gonna be very introverted.
And
Yeah, but like, I don't see how they could have created. You only knew him for 5 minutes, maybe 10, and then
you see
I
the
realized,
general
like,
chat?
let me see. No. Textbook abandonment issues.
Yep.
I still like the 3 Simp Ninja Magicians.
I did. When Sims go bad. Oh man, all throughout a Sims for a woman. 2 of them for the same woman.
But in that whole scenario, that does kind of go to the classic textbook, or I shouldn't say classic textbook, but very classic story arc of, you know, protective of the one you love. So like all that's supposed to, like, it is a legitimate like good versus evil. One's I shouldn't say advances, but feelings got spurred. So instead of trying to make himself better or find some, he's like basically pulled the, well, if I can't have her, no one will, and fuck the whole world.
But see, again, so Horvath is one of Merlin's apprentices. I'm pretty sure there probably was a billion women throwing themselves at him.
But it falls to that whole old adage for certain men: they want which they cannot have.
I can't have her, so I'm just turn evil and destroy the planet. Makes sense.
Yeah, it's not the first storyline to have that. At least this one was done better. Resident Evil 6 had that for part of it, to where, you know, gonna clone Ada off, or kind of clone Ada, but use a virus to make another woman look like Ada because she spurred my advances.
So,
No, he literally took the woman that he was in love with and had her get possessed by a
No.
crazy woman.
Well,
that
in
he knew.
in this one, she sacrificed herself for that. She dragged Morgana into her to save Balthazar.
That's true.
Yeah.
But that pretty much seems like the setup that Horvath planned on.
Oh, ostracized.
I can't have her. You can't have her either.
And thank you,
If
Johnny.
I
That
can't
would
have
be
her, you can't have her, yeah.
Dave was definitely ostracized.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I agree.
Emotional
He had to
thing.
be ostracized. Do it. Play it.
Play what?
Go ahead. Emotional damage.
Oh, the
Emotional damage.
Wow.
Hey, some people have asked me why I've gotten some of the things I have for my sound pad.
Why does anyone do anything? Sheer absolute boredom.
See, I was trying to get you to play that at the end of my last comment.
I didn't even have sound pad open, if I remember correctly. Or are you talking about on this or in Quippers?
Yes, on this.
On this, then
You just didn't look at general chat.
no, because I have the stream open for my live chat. I've only got 2 monitors, bro. Like, I want to get... Yeah, I want to get a third at some point. I mean, I could turn my one TV on and use it as a third monitor, but that just gets annoying.
Use your phone.
No.
You're not his manager.
You're not his boss.
No, I'm my own boss, and that guy's an asshole.
Well, you heard the joke about the fisherman, didn't you?
Oh Lord.
Department of Labor comes out and he wants to inspect this guy's fishing business. He's a small business owner. He comes up, says, "Are you the captain?" Looks at this old fat man, says, "Yeah." Says, "Well, tell me about your business." He says, "Well, I've got 2 full-time deckhands and then a part-time deckhand. I pay the 2 regular deckhands $18 an hour and let them take home 2 of the better fish of the day." He goes, "Wow. All season long." Says, "Then the part-time deckhand, sometimes I don't pay him anything. And I'll buy him a 6 or 12 pack at the end of a trip. Then sometimes I'll let him sleep with my wife." He's an emotional idiot. He's an idiot, so he doesn't know any better. Says, "Well," and the guy from the Department of Labor says, "That's the guy I want to talk to," and says, "You are talking to me."
That's where I knew, like, and Johnny brought up, the opening narrator was Ian McShane.
Who was Ian McShane?
He plays the one dude from John Wick of the First Continental. He's been in Deadwood. He played the one guy in the new version or the remake of Hellboy. He was also the seer or whatnot in the Dwayne the Rock Johnson's version of Hercules.
Ugh.
Oh, I mean, he's a pretty
Black guy or the
actual head guy.
guy with the cane?
The guy with the cane.
Okay.
Yeah, he
No,
plays
I'm just
Winston.
saying to the
The Hellboy reboot.
yeah.
It's not great, but I also don't think it's entirely terrible. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, they made it, but it was one of those another reboot where you don't really need to see him, or it's like it didn't need to happen.
I've seen him before, yeah. Now look at him, yeah, I see him in a lot of stuff. Another brick.
He's been in a whole bunch of stuff. Close some of these things out. I don't need this many tabs open. But I am keeping up the incredible Burt Wonderstone. We'll have to do that movie sometime.
And what's that one about? Oh,
That one's magicians, straight up magicians. This is a veteran Vegas magician tries to revive his career after his longtime partner quits. He gets fired from his casino act, and an edgy new street magician steals his thunder. And the edgy new street magician is Jim Carrey.
Can you recall Jim Carrey, an edgy new street magician?
He's having like the Chris Angel bit.
Oh.
Like, it's ridiculous, but it's actually pretty dumb fun. Because the two main characters for like who his magician partner is Steve Buscemi. And Steve Buscemi has longer hair, which is really weird for parts of it. Like seeing him and Steve Carell with like longer blonde hair. It's actually
they're the straight version of Siegfried and Roy.
Yeah, it's kind of what it's supposed to be. Is like the Siegfried and Roy, and then Chris Angel.
They were straight adjacent.
The year that I moved out to Vegas was the year that they broke up as a couple, but they were still going to perform together because of the business.
I was pissed when Penn and Teller broke up for the billionth time. I used to love Penn and Teller.
Now they just do that. Do they still have a show on in Vegas, or do they just do that one show?
I think Penn Jillette still does stuff.
I don't know. I just know when I was in Vegas is when I went, and that was 2014, I want to say. I was wanting to go see a show in there, but I had like a day and a half off in 2 weeks. And it's not like my job was actually hard. I was a glorified office worker at the time. And I just 12-hour shifts and was there. Hey, that's how TDYs go sometimes for the military. Sometimes you barely get a day off. Sometimes you barely work. Sometimes it's a bit of both.
You were at the base in North Vegas.
Oh, fuck. Now I can't remember which one it was. Because it was an Air Force base I was at.
Yeah. You know, I used to work at the Walmart there in North Vegas, which is just past that base. And there's 2 lanes. And if you get off on the wrong fucking lane, you're going to end up at the front gate of that base. And those military personnel is not real polite when to civilians that accidentally take the wrong turn.
For that, everything I've seen, it all depends on who's working it, typically how the person is, and that whole thing. Because a lot of times, if it's a genuine mistake, it happens. But yeah, I think it probably happens all the time. And some fucking Secfo dudes are just fucking assholes.
Yeah.
And I can understand why they're doing. They do Panamas, so they're like a 3-day on, 2-day off, 2-day on, 3-day off type thing. But then they work a 12-hour shift every time, and except for that's 12 hours of like what they're supposed to be doing, but it ends up being actually like a 14, 16-hour shift.
Oh wow.
Well, because you got to go there early so you can get, the turnover and everything, or anything that the higher ups might want to tell you. You got to go to the armory to pick up your weapon. Depending on what's going on before or after, you have to go to fucking PT with them. You have to come back after your shift that you've been out on the road for 12 hours or whatever, at the front gate or whatever, and fucking fill out your after action report.
Yeah, I can understand that.
That sounds like a whole
Like I
ball
said,
of suck.
it scared the shit out of me the first time that happened, because I'm thinking I'm on the right path, and I end up there and I'm going, oh shit, I am so sorry. And they weren't happy.
I'm surprised you didn't get more of like the fuck. Who's got the counter?
Yeah.
I don't know. You haven't lived till you've been out joyriding at night on base and accidentally ended up on the shooting range during bivouac?
No, I never had that, because when I was at Cannon for the longest time, our base didn't even, like, the range was down, and even after they got it back up, it went down again for something else.
My ex was stationed at Fort McClellan, Alabama. My one friend, while we were there, she was a massive insomniac, so we were constantly just piling the kids in the car at night and driving around. We ended up on the shooting range in the middle of the night during bivouac, trying not to get in the line of fire of anyone because she took the wrong turn.
That has to be scary.
Yeah. Super fun.
Wish that on anybody.
Yeah, no, my first base was, like I said, Cannon, and is a small base.
Ah, Clovis.
Yep, Clovis, New Mexico.
You never been in a little touch like
Clovis
Canyon,
is.
Okay, James, you go first, then.
Oh, I was going to say, you know what the best part of Clovis is?
You sneeze and you're through it?
No, the city limit signs let you know you're fucking out of there.
Oh, but you always knew when you were coming back Texas-wise, heaven or hell, it's your choice. I kind of miss that sign.
Yeah.
The heaven or hell, it's your choice, or the left wants to blah 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 because they're so pro-abortion that there's 1,000 or not 1,000, like 100,000 murders or whatever. It's like, oh, Clovis, here I am, you bunch of homophobic meth heads.
Yeah.
Ouch.
And that church right there at where was it? Not Muleshoe. It is Muleshoe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is it
I don't remember the exact ones in
it
there.
begins with a B, I think. I don't know. But it's right there. You take that turn to go at that street and come in on the backside.
Mm-hmm.
And you get that little church right there that's always got the sayings on it.
Probably. I mean, it's been quite a bit because I left there in like 2017. I just know when I left, it was actually pretty nice. The fact, like, because they did have some good restaurants. Like Espiga's was actually really good, but they were only open for like 3 hours, and majority of the staff didn't speak English because it was it was connected to and part of the Mexican grocery store.
Yeah.
And then like Don Maria's was pretty good. Hell, they'd actually gotten a Del Taco in there. More people were ablaze when they got the Buffalo Wild Wings, even though they're pretty crap. The funny thing for Clovis was like they got pissed off because of like a lot of people got pissed off because of the lack of nightlife, and what they didn't realize was that the Allsups, the person who was running that, was trying to buy up like all the bars they could, and any place else that would have a liquor license. So pretty much he would be the sole liquor license.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And then because, our actual base commanders and whatnot started to flex their dick a little bit and being like, and so did the rest of the state, or it's like the city and whatnot, being like, no. Okay, you can go through and you can buy this place's liquor license. If you don't use it in 6 months, you lose it and you don't get to rebuy it. Like, you have to do something with it. Well, that was like, there was this in Portales, the town next over, basically, that was a little more than a stone's throw away. There was a bar over this liquor store, and when they were going to sell it, the bar was interested in buying it so they could do a 2-floor thing. One of the local churches, or the church groups and whatnot, they went through, paid for the store to be bought, ran by the individuals who still ran it, with the under the clause that the store could not be sold to the bar. Because that's like, Clovis did have a strip club for all of like 3 weeks. And usually, like any military area is great to have strip clubs, but no, a church, or the people, when they bought it out and turned it into a church. And last I knew, it is the only church that I'm aware of that still has a stripper pole installed.
That is a stripper pole for the Lord. That's the Lord's pole. Sometimes the Lord like to come down and shake his moneymaker.
Well, they had a bigger issue because for Clovis, instead of doing the traditional thing of, hey, I'm not the biggest fan of this place, so I'm not gonna bring my business there, and I'm gonna tell my friends and family not to bring my business there. They were the ones who were like, if it wasn't owned locally by someone considered okay in the city, they would go through to buy them out. Like, the reason that Papa John's left is because the people who actually owned the building that was in, they kept increasing the rent to the point to where the franchise for it could not actually be sustained, so it closed down. Because it was potentially taking business away from Snappy Tomato, which is a
local chain.
Oh yeah, kind of more local. Like, they're not bad, but they weren't the greatest.
So it seems like this was an insular community where, you know,
well, you had
like you can't leave.
It's the whole thing of like, they like the money, they like the people being there, and that whole thing. They just want to be the ones in control. Like, it was funny when the base reopened. Apparently, what was known as the Shifty 50. And that whole thing, they came on because way back when it was still a fighter base, like, they pretty much had shit to where they could go on. They would go on to base, use all the facilities, shop at the BX and everything, and they didn't have, and they weren't supposed to. Well, when AFSOC took it over, Air Force Special Operations Command, they tried that same shit. They came on the base. They went to the base commander like, this is what we're going to do, and you're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and this is what things are going to be run. He looked at the SecFo guys. He's like, who the fuck are these people? Like, oh, these are the head of the town and whatnot. He's like, escort them the fuck off my base. And they're like, excuse me? He's like, you ever try that again? That's trespassing, and you will be arrested and prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
Gotta put these motherfuckers in their place.
But like, for the longest time, shit was bad because like the mayor was the was the main realtor, and of course I mean the main realtor because the fucking mayor. Like, it was also really funny when it opened up and they were like, oh, where are most of the people coming from? Oh, they're coming from Florida. So they started looking up the BAH and the basic allowance for housing rates of Florida, of that area. They're like, oh my god, these people are getting like thousands of dollars for the houses, so obviously that's what they're gonna do here. No, bitch, the standard of living's lower.
That's
like, you gotta chop that shit in fucking half, if not a third.
It seems like they were trying to run their town into the ground.
Oh, what was really funny is the people that knew better were like, no, we still need the fucking military here because our town almost disappeared when the military was leaving. But like, a bunch of the kids, because they're a bunch of goddamn idiots, are like, oh no, the military needs to fuck off. And it's like, dude, us being here is the only reason you still have a town. Like, Clovis, New Mexico is not a tourist attraction.
I wouldn't expect it to be.
But there is a potential that it could actually get to be really a really nice place to live and everything, because that's how where like Eglin and Hurlburt were. You know, because the military always buys really cheap land and everything. But after a while it does get built up and that. Yeah, I think we're off the movie.
I think we detoured a while back.
I think.
Oh, we detoured like fucking 40 minutes, or it's like honestly like 5 minutes after the movie started.
Oh yeah,
But,
I'm sorry.
It's kind of the way it goes. It's kind of funny the way these reviews tend to go. If we hate the movie, we will bitch the ever living shit out of it, and rarely go on tangents. It seems like if we like the movie, we're like, yeah, I liked it. These are a couple things I don't like, and let's talk about something else.
Let's do something else, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, the movie was overall good.
It was definitely fun.
It was. I would highly recommend it to anybody looking for just some
Popcorn movie.
just something that isn't. Yeah, it's a popcorn movie that isn't so fucking preachy. It's not preachy at all.
No, it's a simple premise. Like, you can kind of get behind the one character, Horvath, of like why he did what he did, but it's kind of like, dude, that was still pretty evil. Like, okay, you got rejected by a woman, no reason to be like, let's end the fucking world.
Maybe he thinks now he since he's gonna be one of the guys to help get the end of the world, he's gonna get all the bitches, all the dead undead mage bitches.
But I think with it being like 1 a.m. here, I'm out of my drink and I'm actually starting to fade even further. The 2 streams have kind of wiped me out, even though the Quippers is not that difficult. Being on stream can wear you out if you're not used to it. And that. So, you guys have anything that you want to shill or words of wisdom? Tyr, we'll start with you.
We're doing Hereditary next week, right?
We can do that one.
Unless you wanted to do something else, I just needed a palate cleanser from.
Well, weren't we wanting to continue on with the Nicolas Cage thing?
Decision? I wanted my vote is Hereditary. That way we can get it out the way, and then go back to Cage.
Okay. So next week we'll do Hereditary.
Okay.
Well, did you have anything else you wanted to shill, Tyr? Or parting words of wisdom?
Smokes if you got him.
James, you have anything you'd like to shill or words of wisdom?
Just Clippers United Sunday night. It's 6:00 my time, which is Central Time Zone. Add or subtract from your time zone. It's a fun time. Don't come in being expecting good, clean Christian fun, because it ain't there. But it is a great time if you're not just a thin-skinned bitch.
That it was.
And my words of wisdom are: breathe deep, and if you smoke, quit before you get to my age.
Angela, you have anything you'd like to shill or words of wisdom?
Apparently, Terry Diamantis decided that I am a person today.
Yeah, I was there for that. So it is confirmed Angela is a person. We weren't talking to an AI chatbot.
I still say Ebony Williams is the highly advanced AI in Source Turn. Have you ever actually met anybody from Australia? Exactly.
Yeah,
It doesn't
actually,
exist.
I'm pretty sure I have because I've met a shit ton of people being in the military, and I don't remember where everyone's from.
If you can't remember where they're from, they don't exist. Those are the rules.
Those are not the rules, but yeah. Next week should be Hereditary. Maybe we'll see if we can do something on Saturday or something, and see if Johnny wants to do an BS about anime or something stream. I haven't figured it out. I got to start getting some more shit on there.
If you're going to do an anime stream, I'm down.
It's probably just gonna be a discussing and everything.
Okay.
So
That's okay. I'm down. I'm well versed in anime.
mine's mostly manga and that whole thing. I stopped watching quite a bit ago, but we'll see. We'll discuss some things.
Tyler, you're a weeb. You're a weeb.
I am a weeb.
We all
It's
are
okay,
in some
'cause I'm
way.
one too.
Well, you know, most people are weeaboos. I mean, hell, you got the fucking, the Brit lovers, the teaboos, and there's other shit like that. But I'm going to end it here. Yeah, if you got like preteen to teenage kids early this is a great movie for that, or just a dumb, fun movie you want to throw the popcorn on because it was a shitty day at work and you just need to not think. It's pretty good. But from all of us to you, hope your week starts good because technically it's Monday for the East Coast. I'm out of here. This has been something or another. Luckily, OBS didn't be an asshole, so